guys, welcome back into the Reno You Know. This episode's going to be a little different because I'm so excited about this. We're out in Fallon, Nevada, which is about an hour east of Reno. We're here at the Frey Ranch Distillery. This is a world-class distillery right here in Nevada, and this ranch has been in the family. Frey Ranch has been in the family since 1854. 5 generations. They grow all their own grain for the distilling process here. They harvest it, they ferment it here, they age it, they bottle it. Everything is done here on one estate. There's very few distilleries in the world that do that. So we're gonna check it out today. Thanks for coming in, and I'll see you very soon. Yeah!
We grow 100% of the grains for all of our whiskeys. Wheat, rye, barley, and corn. We literally, like I said, just got done planting corn yesterday. If I'm not making sense, I'm a little bit loopy. We've been working 7 days a week for the last 2 months pretty much, trying to get everything caught up. We had a super wet winter, as you guys all know, but it kept us from getting on the fields and doing any work. A lot of times we'll get the fields 80-90% ready in the winter. In December, January, February, we couldn't do anything because everything was too wet. It adds compaction, it messes everything up with too much moisture. So we had to do it all in, we had to do 6 months worth of work in 2 months. So we've been working really hard and just got it done. It's really nice. We got done planting corn yesterday morning, and we got done irrigating all the corn this morning. It just was all timed perfectly, which is a logistical nightmare, but we got it. Our wheat, rye, and barley are all winter crops. So we plant them in the fall, and they grow real slow all winter. So that's why that rye looks so big and beautiful right now. I mean, if that was a spring crop, you can plant spring wheat, rye, and barley. But right now, I mean, they'd be just barely coming out of the ground. And what's kind of crazy is we harvest them at the same time. So that crop has to go from seed all the way up to maturity in a short period of time, whereas the rye, wheat, and winter rye, wheat, and barley grow real slow all winter. And it allows it to get this big, healthy root system, so that it's more healthy and it just grows better. Whereas the summer crops, it's just trying to grow up. It puts all of its energy into growing up, and it just gets kind of less of a root system. It's less drought tolerant. It can't uptake the nutrients from the soil and everything. So we like to grow winter crops. It's just better for quality. Some people can't do it because they can't get it planted in the fall and whatever else, but we make sure that we can. Then also corn though. Corn cannot withstand any frost. So we don't plant corn until this time of year. I didn't point it out, I should have over there, but there's a house, right? That rye field where we stopped at, right above it. I like to point it out because that's Russell's house. So he's gonna do the distillery tour for you guys. And he's our master distiller. He lives right on the farm. But he's also a certified crop consultant, which is really great because there's usually a big disconnect in distilleries between distillers and farmers, because the farmers don't really know what or why the distilleries need what they need, and the distillers don't really know how to tell the farmers what they need, you know what I mean? And so by really understanding both, we really get the best of both worlds. So
we can get started on the stills. If you have a question, call around me, or at the end I'll just ask if you got questions. These 2 stills are called continuous stills. And the way they work, we're pumping mash from the other room that you'll see in a few minutes underground, comes up through these pipes, drops into the stills at the top. Underneath each one of these sight glasses, there's a metal plate with holes in it. The mash kind of rains down through the still. You put steam in the bottom, those plates heat up. The mash boils on each plate. We have the heat turned up so we get about 40% alcohol, 60% water. The reason we want 60% water is because in any spirit, the flavor is in the water. If you distill all the water out, the only flavor left in there is going to be alcohol. So we want to preserve as much water as we can, especially in the first distillation. So vapor travels to the top, comes out, goes through a condenser that has pond water in it from the pond you guys seen when we came in, the diving board, turns that vapor back into a liquid, runs down these 2 pipes, and that's what's filling up these 2 tubes and overflowing all day. This is called low wine. That first distillation is called low wine. Goes into a tank back there, it's connected into tanks in the other room, they fill up slowly all at the same time. We're using grains grown specifically for distillery. We're making a very generous heads and tails cut, and we're putting the best product in the barrel, and then eventually in the bottle. And we want to showcase the flavors of the grains and the flavors of the whiskey, not oak. Anybody can make an oak flavored whiskey, you just leave it in the barrel a long time. So I think, in my opinion, 4.5 to 5 years old is a sweet spot for a bourbon. Okay, so this is our modern style warehouse. There's one here. One here, it's all the way full. There's one next door, 2/3 full. You guys will see later today. Like I said, they're stacked on end, bungs are on top. We haven't seen a big difference in aging, maybe actually a little bit less loss in this warehouse versus the little one. And I don't know if it has to do with smaller, getting hotter faster or whatever, I don't know, but there seems to be a little bit less loss in here. But the biggest benefit to this type of storage is more gallons per square feet and less smashed and broken fingers, like I think I told somebody earlier. This one holds about 8,400 versus 1,500. These barrels right here all lined up are batch 10, 90 proof bourbon and farm strength. Everybody knows what farm strength is now? Oh, yeah.
Hey guys, I'm here with Colby Frey of Frey Ranch, and he's the founder, owner, and distiller. And Colby, we're a historically based channel here. I just wanted to have you talk about the history of the property, the 5 generations, the 1850s link.
Yeah, so my family's been farming here in northern Nevada since 1854. It was in Genoa, Nevada, and it was one of the first 8 deeded properties in Nevada. And so it's 1854, as many people know, is 10 years before Nevada was even a state. And we've been continually farming in Nevada ever since. And so it's a long time farming family, and we use that knowledge to grow grains to make our whiskeys right here on the farm.
Awesome, awesome. And so what was the original family link for you? Who was the first line of your family?
Lorenzo Frey, and then his brother originally settled in Nevada here. There's 4 brothers, and the other 2 brothers settled in New Orleans. And so I actually have a picture in the tasting room from the 1800s, and it was a newspaper clipping where, in the first time in 50 years, the 4 brothers got together. So yeah, we've been here a long time.
Awesome. And what was your impetus to make whiskey, to make distilled spirits?
Well, ever since I was a little boy, I wanted to be a farmer, and I was looking for ways to showcase the crops that I grow. And we'd always grown wheat, rye, barley, and corn. We also loved whiskey, and we thought, what better way to share our crops and showcase the crops and do something meaningful with them than to make it into whiskey. And so it's kind of backwards from everybody else. Most people buy a crop. We were taking our crop and trying to do something with it. And so that was really our love of agriculture led us to the distillery.
Perfect. All right, Frey Ranch even has a tasting room. What do we got today?
We got our bourbon.
Ooh, straight
90 proof.
bourbon, Yum O 90 proof.
Made from our grains. Corn,
Ground-
wheat, rye, and barley.
Ground to glass.
Ground to glass.
I've had this bourbon before, and it never disappoints. Fantastic. Thank you.
Frey Ranch, thank you for everything you do.
Right on. I hope you've enjoyed our short stay here at Frey Ranch Distillery in Fallon, Nevada. It's time to go home. It's going to be a hot ride, but we'll make it. You can find Frey Ranch bourbon and rye and single barrel at your local retailer if you're in Nevada or California, and they just expanded to Arizona. So from Frey Ranch back to Reno, thanks for hanging out.